the frontline show of Yunra Anasin Seminim. The frontline show want to probe further to establish the circumstances leading to the death of Mohammed Hafiz Abdullahi, the CEO of Halfred Company Limited, who earlier was contracted by Omega Strategic Service to provide security services, whilst Almod Company Limited supply gold. Afiedimu ransom. Now, companies amabubo mudin me bechere oni na omuni paban. Ye be wura nsem ye mu wate bibia se. Kire se Mame enya de bi by way of giving you a history of this individual called Mohammed Hafiz Abdullahi. Na mebo video bi a kire mo before mebo video no. Mame mamo Hafiz ye nipa bia na a businessman, big one, a business mogul. Tamale or any business namni ade. Osanso was security companies that will provide security services. Inti dia koba and say mesramo munto to companies into ho. There is a company ye from Omega Strategic Service for one mo a company omo ye adwuma bebre. Enti one mo be contracted company be from Almod for no be den. Almod for no supply Omega Strategic for no gold. And almost cycle contracted a company ye friend Halfred Company Limited. And also ye company why dia a Mohammed Hafiz Nidia. No nedwuma be ne say ono no obe provide security. Obe provide security consultancy e de ama time a year transport to gold na de akono ono nedwuma obe no na enumu ena sa companies 3 enyo bi ankoyi. So Omega Strategic for ye den wonomu e contracted Tiger Eye say Tiger Eye for enquiry investigations emfa yes our company Halfred Company Limited belonging to Mohammed Hafiz Abdullahi. Eho eno pape one anas Samuel anas benya an eye contact. Into during the investigations no eho ena pape allegation kese ma say anas ebe an investigation on your investigation. Anas be yes or no on your den. Omano sika na inche investigation no wo mehwe said on be no. According to Hafiz, my boss had tape now sometime last week. So then what happened is saying organize $50,000 the manas and on Mohammed Hafiz is not down for and so organize $50,000 the manas making $100,000 and ti pape ne background kaka media mamuno. Now Yanko enim ni say the investigations was again, as I've said, sponsored by the company called Omega Strategic For, who earlier had also contracted company called Almod Company Limited to supply the gold, and Halfred Fencing Company also contracted to what belonging to Mohammed Hafiz also a juma na so almost say as almost provided security services during the transporting of the gold. Folks, me be video bi ama mamahwe, but before the video let's read a transcript. Transcripts be video na me be ya kire no, the transcripts na me be ya kire no. Now time anas yes investigation no or the report be any new be come the prosecutor na owo hwa or yes senior prosecutor or the command say onhwe nyoma or yes so far na on the prosecutor ni di nkomo no nsem o keka wo de Jack the frontline show ya transcripts of nkoma on your saying on a can say state prosecutor ni die into meaning kan yan go through the transcript and sana me video natural now anase be shasi akasa. Folks, ahanya grown yedio, we have the time and we have cracks of what forensic investigators, cracks of what field investigators bebre, and we have top level investigators in many international intelligence agencies when we monitor what is going on here in Ghana. Now yenti anasum common on it prosecutor dear Anas na shall say off the phone ubetin now video no and someone me can ubetin now video no tm or say off the phone. Hafiz quickly back convince Mubarak that what's it's $1.9 million. I have shared it to the police and some other people so the case won't go anywhere. So spend yours and let me spend mine. And as next to you, that's what happened. So his mind changed. Prosecutor no edges or and as baby or say first he had heard so much about me. He said he was very shocked about the details I've gotten concerning the matter. And that he was very scared about the issue and that his biggest worry, and he said, had been so foolish in the matter was by telling Hafiz to transfer his portion of the money to Egbert's account as part of his booty. Anas negusu kase onti muntie nsam ni ye. Anas san babim o say the way he blew the money, girls, some Miss Malaika people, and then some northern chiefs. He brought about 30 northern chiefs. Now one northern chief, if he's coming, he has the entourage, about 25 people. He brought them. He was injected by the question of the prosecutor. The prosecutor never buyer or say prosecutor never say what were they going to do? Ubisa question and ask the response. Say actually he said he was organized. He said he was organized some piece something concept for them. Prosecutor never say prosecutor peace concept. Again, she interjected with a question. Anas somebody or say, money, organized the National Theatre and brought all the northern chiefs, brought all musicians, Miss Malaika people, paid everybody. Anas to us or say, that's what Hafiz did. And then bought Tuareg. As for the girls, they had them on TV. This part was not clear. That is why and maybe Ubehunisa. Now let me do the first one before I move on to the second one. This was the Tunde video. Prosecutor prosecutor I hope the sound quality is good. Prosecutor Nibisa question. And ask the answer. I'll say very good. My cameras are. I'll say professional. It was very early in the morning. A team of investigators naturally my main country say professional. It was very early in the morning because that is the only time, and he was very scared. He didn't want me to come to the house. And as I say professional. It was very early in the morning because that is the only time, and he was very scared. He didn't want me to come to the house because what? And a prosecutor and say is prosecutor and to us say is in Hausa and on in can with you Hausa. And as be here and say yes, I will tell you. He says that when he calls all of them, nobody can deny, and that they have not been truthful to him. And as be answer say, you know, he's an ex-military guy. Prosecutor bisa say Mubarak is another suspect too. And as Bejes say, yeah, he is an ex-soldier. Prosecutor say, really? Prosecutor bisa say, was he dismissed? And as Bejes say, yes. I don't know for what, but he was dismissed. His father too was a military officer. And as Betos say, he's a barracks boy, so he can shoot. He has every skill, yeah. And as it also say, should I call my bankers? Here he wanted to call his bankers there and there. Parts of the dialogue was not clear, especially where the prosecutor was laughing. So where Anas said it is fraudulent deal. Now, Chef Anas Betuas was saying it is a fraudulent deal, and he would settle everybody so that it will not go anywhere. Prosecutor, they have really been working hard settling everybody. And as it was say, misdemeanor 1.9 million from where? Who did they take it from? And he started telling me how telling me how the people came in and they were working with them, and how so that time they buy me with they buy me with $100,000 because he somehow relates to me somehow. I don't know. And as I can say, also Mutono was saying $100,000. Folks, dear, maybe end it. Prosecutor and baby say, is it the two of them? And as the respondent said, no, it was a Baba Tunde. He now wanted to fight for himself. Prosecutor, tell me the amount transferred to him. And as the judge say $5,000. Prosecutor and baby say, we all want money. We all need money. And as I say, exactly. And as Beji so saying exactly. Then and the prosecutor say, so that is the reason why I had to know what evidence you have. And then we turn it in to suit the presentation you have to do in court. And as Beto say, they have because I went with the police. I then Edupoku was then the CID boss, so I met him and I gave him $75,000. Folks, question remain. The $75,000 now. Anas are emiyaw anas odema CID boss no says he can efrihin esikabenya ebium the $100,000 near demand is efrihin. But folks, me nche wo ho bebe bought tape recording and kasa chiro na wa wetie nkoma a course with the prosecutor. Now folks, tonight and they see a uni picture such a we here the Frontline show have uncovered the saying Anasi pictures already. Now of course on the line Eno Kofi Ejiri, of course, is the director of research at the Frontline show and also a senior investigator. Cracked indeed. Now we study sa video we now the whole sembi ebeguho Emma Wankasa wait me who no one said they say that mama's business. Now about 2-3 videos are over by tonight. First is the one just gone past and they're saying I remember your nas any prosecutor no etwa womo edin komo. Give us a sense of direction and all about what we need to know about this very conversation between him and the prosecutor. Take over from there.
Good. It's today my Elekanom. Let me also add this to the whole thing today. Saleh's documentary na waya no. On ankasa waya one script or dialogue ni. And our Frontline team so what build it and also one dialogue. It's baby of our version what show the words on your highlight na the now any. It's the boom there. I would read different from script now. No war a offended. Saleh's one documentary into that must be made clear no being why the Frontline food be assistive that be another different from what is on the screen. What is on the screen here, Saleh's on one script on one year. And on one a but any year Frontline for so what's on the research team what they saw and I want also what script accordingly now what be the day now at the beginning of the conversation I bet today and ask look at the off the phone I want no more problem kaka because why the book could be in office in the first place hidden camera I want to yada mental asset. Why will you walk to somebody's office with a hidden camera? Abadin I know I record I'm going to work at the office. It's perhaps when you get a full taper, probably the understanding will be made there. Okay, the madinti. It's at that very moment next to the and the camera was off. It's the camera now off. The next conversation be all keep off camera or off record. The I mean move identify. Imuno, ena okaka prosecutor in a day. Chinquentus 100,000. I to offend and 20 at the month. Omano, Chinquentus another cash $100,000. That's one a confession. Also, I was expecting there at that very moment, prosecutor will be sent the 100,000 for what another dividend. But another I you can they buy me. In other way, he was bought or he was bribed. Anya na sani no masan. Into name Frank Mundanka prosecutor no back be there for Bawankashi. Then another name was mentioned, the director of, let's say COP, director of CID, for the COP Dupoku. This name was mentioned, where no so $75,000 was also given, to him. And so another no so the them Chinquentus no other man. As that the them Chinquentus no man there, I bribe, and I gift no so prosecutor no maybe some hoshi. It's a one. Let's say in Tiasino or Moake, into walk a crano, or my understanding the day. One, Nipananka Sadatum, the Wajabai. None of us swag out to one will be cash. Contest for the cash in the main panel, or one in Suyon. Subsequently, the Madi see 2009, upon 2 inch, don't hold 10 or see 2009. Now, subsequently, a bone there, oh yeah. Prosecutor or friend Ellen see something, yeah. Ellen about out they will receive first statement. But today, them documentary now the whole thing in one because the fee they were not fair to her. Baby what documentary me there was how much was transferred. I didn't sound like to me. But it was one to me, but okay to him. And indeed, the team is also be meeting it and it be it differently. But yeah, go forward in the book there's a publication by Modern Ghana which will also give a different angle. And you do into you do a better to me and not to him no. The bet him. But now let's go with Mananka Sarkan there to hello, put on line though.
Yeah, was so Kasa.
It's you do I want to obey him the to him and to him another to her. Another reference to me. Let me put it right. Go into the mountain. I only do down publication that you born. Oh, you know, not also Kennedy Agyapong. I'm not done documentary, but out to them. Any footage or picking or a documentary called Who What Is a Watchman. And also Kennedy would declare the will, but only at all. Then your motu in she was quick to respond to it. So I was expecting there. Then press release now, other out no. Like the same press release, I only see 1st July 2018. The same press release that could address them $75,000. No, that's also address $100,000 or one cash. Interestingly, that press release will be able to my check that press release or 1st January 2018. But to my check now in whom I think graphic online you get it. That's 1st July 2018. That press release as some more candidate, the third video one is some party it was doctored. No mum, we feel that they were getting delay from 2011 to 2013. We feel the account, I think from 2009, added by 2013, we feel the account on my NAS court investigation. We feel that the man didn't count no man judges investigation. I don't know. And one also some problem because one conversation or court war or your office between Anna and us, baby and you are and ask the catch and the judges we are corrupt. So I wonder why she got that impression. Mauritian press statement. Interestingly, conversation I saw court war what $75,000 for home, what $100,000 for home. Will be cut off the camera. Linear one cash no mum. Judges one documentary another one investigation on for BBN Hono. She was able to tell that we believe that can no delays in the whole process crown and doma and investigation. That's why there any some connection be. So be cut off both some conspiracy theory based on them press release now. No so our can. It's sir, yakara into detail into this whole conversation. The main things I wonder first, and that's openly openly said it there, one man of cash of $100,000. Now, no, okay, you'll be not okay. Don't look at it, almost $75,000. Again, the question is, why would you walk to somebody's office with a hidden camera? And again, when you put on no recording, so maybe you might no record. I really have no idea. So this means that at any time, Diana, why back will be no office. Let's say the camera somewhere record. No, people say the best thing when they import a video by an ass. Then press release here making our 1st July 2018 or graphic online. Now, many care there. That video, the import woman was an ass. And that's not friend or not because of any investigation or about forward.
Yeah, it was this particular video and also by me say it was this particular video so now you tender in Accra High Court between Anas versus Kennedy Agyapong. And it turned out to be this video and Anas admitted yes, he's the one, correct?
Yes, we'll come there.
Good.
Because you don't do one or your publication.
Okay. Other
videos not about so you come there. But for now, no, I'm sticking to what is in the video. Then subsequent videos number, not other ones number. Then the last one will be the Modern Ghana publication. Or no, near about insane back again. Until for now, no, I had in this particular one with in relation to this very video I say it is because prosecutor Nankasa for press statements and the I announced. No, I know what court. Interestingly, it's not about out. I bet I don't know how you offended. Video name. If the prosecutor record of a my name, I see. Prosecutor now, and he said, a dining room, a damn one, we're dining one. I guess I will call no cordon. I say, I guess no initiate. I want to ask no initiate. Also, that day, who watches the watchman network TV, I didn't know join you. I mean, I think that was one who even interviewed, not say, but you know me. Do you think that was me? I want to quite down and say, Yano. But one to say in front of so I'll make it later. Yeah, better. You know, I think that this very footage, you know, in Yama Adaba out, it been out without one.
But Kofi, quickly, you be the other 8-minute video now and let's watch it because and Ghana for be who why Anas Arami Anas made a statement codes. He's dead already, sort of blah blah blah. Yes. Great. But when isn't this also quite intriguing? Say Otimi State is $100,000 US Abaniho. Now you juxtapose this one to that of the earlier assertion by Mohammed Hafiz Abdullah, the late. Say Odinkama Ghana 40 as or the says Kaya Bra Nasa. And then he bet me aka say Papa Nuwenia and Anas admitted in this video between himself and the state prosecutor. True or false?
Yeah, I want to or two or true at the same time or false. A very good question, maybe a very, very good question. About to my true because Kwaku Annan Angrily consistently was saying that he is ready to go to any shrine be a war not they are the Anas Agino $50,000 dollars. By the that the case Nagasa was thrown out. I think somewhere 2013 or so when he was taken to court and there was no ground to establish there. And that's the genius can be them. It's one of them. I don't know what the truth. I mean, always they say the lies in the one.
Okay, quick one. So what's gonna be the assertion also on $75,000 US? I'm gonna come out former CID boss.
Yeah. I want to say a very good point. Again, that video no measure. I do met us women there. One, and that's for the Christmas. At Mercy, on here for the Christmas on Chadekwa. It's contest now, and I'm doing my $75,000. No could be CID boss no one. I want one chip and a prosecutor and also one cash on. It's a one will be able to market. Then it means that there's a conspiracy between one of them.
Great. Then wouldn't that also again help? And also the M1 Obia M for me opinion said then not just walk on my papa and bribe said the bear and some obey me soften the hands. I
don't see them no kuku. That way now so be about you panel and funny need chuck it down ababamo to go boom like that. I mean it don't make sense. Especially at the time now the man look because you not have fixed the police station. No watching no other though. At the time now the conversation because not have fixed no day. And at that time, is also Opokusun and I'm in charge of the said case. It's no say obi for that over the mean na do ko botuma connect that $75,000 no. At the cabaret or CID boss no. Them no people to makan. No, the contest was not, specified. The only confession over I didn't mean 100,000 Nagasaka the wide, and the open confession. But the contest for the $75,000, not the man, we need to contract no. So, okay, a gift to or one of them was not specified in that conversation.
Great.
So, one of that is the.
Good one.
Yes,
Good one. All right, Kofi, stay a while longer there. Nefi, you may check it, the other video. Now, again, in his bid to unravel deeper into knowing more about Mohammed Hafiz Abdullahi, Anas Arami Anas met 3 suspects in the Newtown hideout. And in a conversation, Anas Arami Anas told the 3 suspects something, and I quote, "He is a dead man already," unquote. Question remain, who was Anas Arami Anas referring to? Why? Folks, at this time, before Director of Research joins us, maybe I'll be video at no wait here. You video and NOKG will come in again and then over analysis. Aha, and the me with ye. If you are someone one can say Ura, Anas Arami Anas, Ekafa, Eya Ura, Mohammed Hafiz, and when you're the baby corners. That I'm known we. But as some are say catch 3 suspects in there. Oh, after Mohammed Hafiz there. Not just all refer to Papa no same or you're dead already no. Na Papa no we. Dinti na be ma na aka sa asem we. Akire sa 3 suspects we. Ni ebe wienzu na anche Papa yi ko tamale. Obi ba sie. Ena chese Papa we kunya ni wu ewu. Ewuranom. Mama me en friend sem ni ni agro. Obi an kasa. Na catcher sa suspect was there. Mohammed Hafiz, as for him, is a dead man. Folks, mean delay because there's another video I be watch though. Ebra Anas, the former and late President Evans Fifi Atamra so odi huni ankrofo. Sa video ni beba, but before Enoch Kofi Ejiri, Director of Research, comes in to help us with more analysis of this. Kofi, back to you.
This very video, no, baby, I am a slow pan. The way I ask for stressing on girls. This is it. How we no man the pop.
Na girls ni hiana pa. Guess. Guess ni hiana. So
from after this 8 minutes work here on the screen, Yashia. That is from 40 seconds. Swallow Kwaki 47 one.
Correct.
About there. And that's be said very important because let's now try to establish the statement. No, he is already a dead man. No. Who was he referring to? We were kind of but we are going to base on this whole thing on that. Again, the front line, so we are not going with a script no over me. No, we are doing our own analysis on what we've seen. So this is it. Is there a question be there? When they decide to trace all the accounts, how are you going to retrieve your money? That question, obey. That question, and ask Obisa them question. Let's also understand one thing that the characters involved in this whole documentary, you find why a bear 5, and Nas Nankasa himself being the protagonist. Now antagonist not bear 4. 4 not bear Hafiz win baby ko. No 2, I bear 2 then Mubarak and no one Newtown. Now, last but not the least, one prince be accomplice also the whole thing. They are not go to Benin. Internet. These are the characters in this whole scenario me creative. Now, and last no, we said I'm question no. No mobile akekebe 10 years. I say Hafiz does not lie to me. Hafiz does not lie to me. So at that very point, naturally Hafiz has become the center of the conversation. And no other person. Baby, one and that's not but trying to okay Hafiz in the Banon to Mumbo into a prince. Now, Mubarak prince is some acro no prince and not somebody Hafiz. So, this is the second time the name has been mentioned in the context of this conversation. Now, the me do not believe no, and I'm asking, so how are you going to defend yourself? Now, all these questions, investigators back actually there's always a good reason why they ask some of these questions, which I can't say on X for obvious reasons.
Sure.
It's why not Obi said question there? How are you going to defend yourself? And now Mubarak Kede, what's the he mentioned into one of extra security writers over the Hafiz invasion, but he mentioned that it was the discussion was still about Hafiz. No, Kede, 400,000 cedis, dollars was given to the prince now. No. Into a had natural prince no, we feed them characters me. Now Tunde in a friend the Mubarak was what an asking into at least one person by Hafiz. Into Hafiz no. And I did down 400,000 no. Adama no. And then over no kede or the be here deba and or the be yes I miss my like kind of girls now do talk to a reg na nasa funadi. It's at this very moment you be said of all the 4 characters no you are nurse if you man 4 characters one and organize it deba. That is Hafiz. So conversation waka come on they not say he's what a dead man. I want to know about a threat. Let's just say there
a bad threat.
Because I know the casa. Now I'm catching already a dead man or check the English language and the big use that for greatest in statement to send internet to Nkoko police station. Very dangerous.
Yeah.
So now guess what? This happened in 2000.
Because that's a threat on Hafiz's life, correct?
Yes, that is a threat on his life because you have already said that he's a dead man. In the context one, and now they didn't mention the name Hafiz, but the context gave the name Hafiz up and meant unless I know okay in the context of the conversation when I said it there he's already a dead man, I was referring to someone which will not also help matters because the conversation no other name was mentioned apart from Hafiz. He was the center of attraction as far as the conversation was concerned. He's already a dead man or Keno. As to what killed guy in me personally I don't say do open. But sources it is poison, it is be in SMP. But bear in mind that 2009 a damn conversation occurred. Then somewhere I think 2018 thereabout, and this documentary of who was on Watchman we in around June.
Yeah.
By November, and I Hafiz strangely.
Oh we.
Now, question I put them in this and Obian you say the other time to know. But rather no, young country and team that do find investigations on end. Justice will surely be served and justice can never be denied, no matter how long it is. My more example, and Sanamaba, they maintain it. As Sanamaba Kenti. They were saying to often the Golden State Killer case. It's taking about 40 years. And Sana was off. There was the West Memphis 3 in a case. No, so it was planning for about 20 years. Now this one will shock you. The Jack, your friend, the Jack, the Ripper case, occurred with UK, no, so I span for 130 years. It's when it comes to investigations, until someone is arrested, there's nothing like they will close docket, and I know. Day in and day out, the people pick up evidence and they go back to it. As some of them see American, so make a simple man can you actually be too far. Or too can I can't have betched. That is one thing to say you a case of from me, man. Also, I am from him into from one doko into search. Okay, see. Ebiana said you another person or Kenya Keke. Ebiana sooner he meant it. But the bottom line is that whether he meant it or not, Kenya Keke, a long run, a life is gone. Into time Kennedy Agyapong Katra any TV do akade. You know when baby call or actually when baby queen. We share no premises have baby and one then. One Bruno, save you. You are different case, you are kind of master. Let's just say the security kede. This wallet guy in the picture actually is already a dead man. Now Benton we after. Do you think Kennedy could be announced on Jaya? That's the question.
No.
It is so this will be a dead man. Not by divine impana who you say no more we. Not a former impano qua. So what will be sent out venture as some Kennedy Nantasi. And that is very key. Because I won't know crowd in our picture, so I want to care that the guy is a dead man. And that was a hidden camera 10. Kennedy didn't put it out of public knocking. But I want to know I could come. And this tape was not supposed to hit the screens. And unfortunately, the tape I hit the screen. Emma, you asked for one I catch you will be a dead man. How do you say such a thing?
And can we also establish that this video here you're showing necessarily an Aremia ODP as part of the investigations Omega Strategic Service for a contracting and so on Femra no Omuhu but ni name thing. Can we establish
that is a thing?
I see.
You see, that is a thing. It's America there, you have publication of one modern Ghana and the same people because at the point in time an original video was demanded and someone refused. It was also the book. So when you look at this 8 minutes thing established today, and ask Kasabeno Kouma and in teaching a dabano. That is the understanding of it could be one of Akakachu that would be a dead man. And an interesting statement, somewhere between 2009. By 9 years later, we documentary 4 months later, the person is dead. And that is weird. 4 or 5 months later, the person is dead.
Yeah.
As to what killed him, the medical and brand are not too much.
Well, what we heard is food poisoning right after the coronation.
Food poisoning, so there, I had in one friend asked to be sent that say, it could be a dead man some years ago. Some years ago, I came upon a dead man. Unfortunately, no. You don't care about IADB and IADB. What do you think happened? None of us share because I look at one on our phone. Another case in the American from America. Another tape through adult what tape and our kid in idea. Then how then you also doing Kennedy Agyapong? There are not the pictures so one country don't go could be no work could be no. It will blame the unknown movie. I wouldn't know what in the can of a can boom, not hit his screen. At that moment, and after that, our feet will be on a short and also already so busy in Canada that the guy is a dead man. Into my boot, my pardon, Hidma. Message you are present, Padia. What do you think will happen? It's because of our threatening. The same table market will be to say the Kennedy pictures. This is the one. It's a way you have some one to say it as me. And not Nangasanga was there when you invite him. Now, I mean, who opposed to invite so no. So I send the same last time you call hockey, you don't know. You saw something on someone. Anyway, I think you know, behind you are bad law. No, not even the commander in chief. That's why there. And when Ghana had any answer, you pay be more young wonder or some spiritual like or superior. It's in saying as an Kaka so. Tabi, some me a bonnet that can. The man of Obiso Bombe so that can. And all my money and man and brandy and bra. It will be a cancer one chair and ask. No, that would be unfair statement, one chair on what grounds. But he should be invited. I say, Brenner Church, them catch 1, 2, 3. And assist because I undercover guy, very good one too. And then about to walk undercover, can't put to the Yamipia. It's not Abana Bember Church and Yama. No one inviting I can all be some questions.
Good. Okay, so for want of time, let's also move to the last one. The last video is Ghana for no now was so bim quickly.
All right.
Yes. Later on, he bragged. Anas bragged and lied to the suspects that the then President Evans Fifi Terminals was following the investigations. Folks, Anas in this uncle for needing commonina or sign Emma Emranti and suspects no mudin commono. Aso te say woman penny no was that time now yes investigation. O follow some investigation din Emma man penny near brise ta emunsam let us or the boom. But the question remains is it true that Professor Mills follows our investigation yana? That's a Professor Mills follows our investigation e ban say and we ya sa video MP abontena. That's right.
When the baby I want to quit all this one episode. I'm quite to forget more. I want to run episode. You see, at the most needing at that
bragging with the president's name.
Yes, I can get the president. He has someone in his pocket. That's what the president who has the president in his pocket. Meanwhile, also, I want 2009. I can just blame market and mercy angry. So I said today, I'm an impact. I get a mercy. Don't forget that. And you go for the $15 billion. And what do you more Ghana? And this for me, I want to say ayebi. Why then do you condemn someone? At Massey. And that for me was highly unfair because I don't know the same most we any baby call young papa. No catch and longer cadama no so none accord can. So we be then why were you then doing this? You see, but because of timing, you know, most Remy and the wrap up mobile nursing you go to me actually for 2 minutes in the Madi. There's a publication for modern Ghana. And that publication was published by one guy called Megdad Mohammed. Now, according to him, also he's speaking from the court records. He said that Anas admitted that I don't know the who watches the watchman. Again, Anas also claiming ownership of the video. And the moment you claim ownership of the video, no matter the burden of proof, no sang Kennedy proof, no matter very easy. And that is where Contextualizing comes in, giving a difficult situation, go for the simplest. It's on my so easy. But Anas video no produce at the moment, no tunde. Into one natural, I established the fact that 100,000 in countries not there. And my party, film into the video was rejected. Then he was told that such a video in Yanankasaka for Rejanaba, and so on Famba. Into a long run, Oma, judge knew the no, natural corrupt. What could be such a bomb in Yaman or say Yamankotin, but a terrorizing for foreign life, damn not I believe that one more dreaming, then borrow the words of the prosecutor and the Indiana. I can home no number work at them or the chair. It's I had it in the ADBC. There are so many angles to it. Baby, okay, there. Oh, on for confession, being brand one hunger, how this and blah blah blah. Naturally, how we would too. I'm moving no action. Niniano or born. So if you decide to go into the matter next time, you will be able to come out with more. Because of time to be this year. And my next time, you too much.
Good one. Enoch Kofi Ejiri, director of research, the Frontline Show, of course. So this was like an annex studio, from another corner. Enoch joined. Kofi, better was Papayo. Yame Adma, Wednesday, Friday, of course. Yuguswaye Shenaya said in Yomekozo. Folks, Ahaniane Enoch Kofi Ejiri BC. But of course, Shannon say this has been the Frontline Show tonight. Came to you live from the studios of Accra 100.5 FM.